Hi guys, welcome to Panthers TV. We are joined by Halifax Panthers Director of Rugby, Richard Durgan. Richard, welcome.
Thanks.
We just want to give the fans a little bit of an update of what's going on at the club at the minute and ask you a few questions. So here we go. So first and foremost, Rich, 5 from 5 in the Betfred Championship that's got to be more than you could have possibly hoped for at the start of the season.
Yes and no. Obviously, you have aspirations, Rick, early on, don't you, to try and have a good start. I think notoriously we've not been fantastic starters, and then the pitch dries up a bit and we tend to be a better side. But I think the key this year is to get off to a good start. The league's going to be tight, I think. Personally, I think there's a lot of good teams and a lot of teams could beat each other. So it's imperative really to get going, and obviously we've done that. So, obviously realistically, if you'd said to me beginning of the year you're 5 out of 5, I'd have probably been asking what you'd be taking. But we've been good as well, haven't we? I think I'm more interested in the nature of performance as well, to be honest. That we've conceded very few points, and we look dangerous in attack. We've been pinning them in their own half. Saw that again at the weekend. It's hard to get out of D for some of these teams. So yeah, absolutely, obviously over the moon with how it started. But that's all it is. Let's be realistic. It's a long season. 5 out of 5, great, but there's a long way to go.
I mean, a big part of that, a big reason for that's been obviously the hiring of a rookie head coach in Kyle Eastman that's come in and transformed the place. What was the thinking behind that appointment? Obviously, a massively experienced player, but an inexperienced coach.
A lot of people have asked that, Rick. To be fair, just interviewed very well. Myself and Damien sat down with him. Yes, I think any coach appointment is a risk, isn't it? You could go for somebody really experienced, you could go for someone brand new. But he just came across very well. Spoke well, intelligent lad, good guy. And that's probably the most important thing. Can you work with somebody? Can you get on with them? And clearly, straight away, Kyle, his record in the game obviously speaks for itself in both codes. I don't think we need to, dwell on that too much. But he commands respect. He's a good, straight, honest guy. He calls it as he sees it. And I think a bit the same, really. So that works well. His backroom staff have been phenomenal, I think. Personally, obviously seen it a bit more on the inside. The guys he's got around him have been a totally different class. And that's down to Kyle's, testament to his, that's his recruitment, not ours. So again, really good. The lads are buying into it, they're enjoying it, and if you've got a happy camp, it makes your job a lot easier.
That's it. I mean, he seems to have come in with that attitude and it feels like it's a totally different atmosphere around the club. What are the main differences that you feel this year to last season?
I think, not losing 3 of your players before you start's helped. I think that you've seen the best of our pack as well, with Dougie and Cali back fit. Crooksy obviously were lost early, OB were lost early, Tom we lost. Obviously, some players along the way as well. So it does help that you've got your squad fit. And again, that's testament down to Kyle's backroom staff. They are looking sharp. It's a small squad, as we know, so keeping them fit and keeping them on the park is important. But I think fundamentally, like I say, keeping the camp happy has been important, and it's helped by having a really good start. It kind of feeds itself, doesn't it? So yeah, I don't know if I don't think it's quite as black and white as some people might suggest about the difference between 2 years, but certainly having everyone fit and on the park is helping us.
Do you feel like the scheduling's had a bit to do with that? Obviously, we went out of the Challenge Cup against Catalan, we went out against the 1895 Cup at York. That's sort of freed up some free weekends, which with the 20-man squad is obviously welcome at this point. It
is. I think you can weigh up the benefit of keeping playing. When you're playing well and you've got momentum, you probably want to get the next game to turn up, really. But I think at the end of the season, it might be a blessing in disguise. Let's see how the next few weeks go. We've got a block now, haven't we? We have a few games on the bounce. So let's see where we are after that. I think that's going to be crucial because, like I say, is it 5 games I think we've got now back to back. So that'll be the test, I think, of where we're at. But obviously, like you say, we're not getting carried away, but it's been a good start.
Yeah, as you say, perfect start in the league campaign, even though we still only have a squad of 20 players on the books at the moment. Are there any plans to strengthen the ranks and add any players in the near future?
Well, I suppose that's where my kind of role comes in. Yeah, absolutely. You're always looking. we've got to work within the framework and restrictions of any budget, clearly. And our budget this year hasn't been anywhere near where it was last year. And fundamentally, we're getting better results. So it does prove to you it's not always just the money that helps you, but clearly you need that in order to strengthen as well. So, yeah, we're keeping our eye out. I think, we've been fortunate so far, like I've said, that the squad have been fit, or whether it's fortune or whether it's great strength and conditioning and all the rest of it. That's helping us, but fundamentally, long term, we're going to have to probably use a bigger squad than what we've got. So yeah, absolutely, something we're still looking out for. Myself and Carl speak about that probably relentlessly. To be honest, it feels at the minute it's obviously a lot going on. So yeah, we're already thinking of next year, but we've got to get a few bodies in for this year probably at some stage if we can.
Is there any particular positions that you'd be looking to strengthen in?
I think that'll just depend on fitness. To be fair, Rick, I think middles. I don't think I've always had the attitude you probably can't have too many of them. So the attitude of both myself and Kyle though is that if we're going to bring someone in, they've got to be as good or competitive with the lads we've got. I think this year our pack's been brilliant. Keeping Douglas and Calcott fit, and I think Roden's been a revelation. They've all been great, and the lads that have come in have done really well. So we've got to be able to actually add to us rather than weaken us. So still got like Hurdy didn't play at the weekend, did he? And so got him to come back in as well. So we're not in a bad place, but you just think that obviously, let's say the amount of games there is in this league, you probably need some bodies.
We've also utilised the dual registration partnership with St Helens. We've seen George Whitby, Owen Dagnall, Conrad Hull coming over and pulling on the blue and white. How do you think that partnership's gone so far this year?
Yeah, great. I think dual reg is pretty much down to the relationship of the coach and the club that it's with, obviously with Kyle's connections there, and is well thought of, clearly, understandably so. But that's any dual reg partnership is it's as good as the parent club are. And in this instance, clearly with Kyle, he's got a great relationship with him, so that is absolutely helping, and we're very grateful to St Helens for that. I don't think we've lent on him as much as we thought. We might have to, obviously with players being fit, but I think that day will probably come. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Off the field, we've seen obviously a raise in the atmosphere and things around the ground. How important have the fans been on this journey so far in 2025?
Huge, and I think that's lifted, hasn't it? Last couple of weeks, the drum's back. Noticed that. And Kyle, I know, has mentioned it in his post-match stuff that, yeah, the atmosphere is totally different, and it feels like we're on a bit of a good journey and momentum's building. And listen, the fans are key to the success of a club. Ultimately it's their club, isn't it? I'm a fan as well, so I can see both sides of it. So yeah, huge. We've got to keep that going.
Well, that's it. And finally, then we'll just say, obviously, we need to maintain this momentum. But how do we do that and build on it for the future?
Well, like I say about the fans, just keep turning up because we need support. Clearly, the club will always need support, and yeah, just keep on enjoying the journey. I think at the minute, like I say, it's just a start. That's all it is. It's fundamental in this league, I think, to get a good start. And yeah, we're off and running, but long way to go. So just keep turning up.